Ambiguity is essentially answer হবে a fancy word of uncertainty. Give some example of ambiguity. Answer হবে notice, observe, run. Scientific research has proved that our product washes your clothes whiter. It is an example of structural ambiguity. Life runs smoothly. What is the meaning of the phrases? উত্তর হবে life passes without trouble. Polysemy is a word, the fact of having more than one meaning. The play ran 100 nights. This meaning of the line, the play staged 100 nights. What is semantic ambiguity? Example, I don't like it when my father smokes. Makes 5 over boundaries. Running means scores runs in succession. The police arrested the merchant with a pistol. It is an example of ambiguity. His design upset her. It is an instance of ambiguity. Polysemy is a compound word from the Greek word poly meaning many and semi meaning to do with meaning. The word notice is an instance of lexical ambiguity. The word ambiguity is an instance of lexical ambiguity. The word observe is an example of lexical ambiguity. I live by the church. It is an instance of lexical ambiguity. There is no room for you here. It is an example of ambiguity. I saw the red cow going along the road. It is an example of the adjectival phrase or disambiguation. I saw a fruit in the garden which is very big. It is an example of the adjectival phrase or disambiguation. Various people have said that ambiguity is a problem of communication, says Ted Gibson. He baked a cake. It is an example of complementary polysemy. Lexical ambiguity. The word note may mean a noun like a musical tone, a written record, both A and B. Lexical ambiguity. The word note may mean a verb form see carefully. The ambiguity is in clause. It is called structural obscurity. Plural ambiguity is a situation in which something has more than one possible meaning. What is ambiguity in a person? Doubtful or uncertain, especially from obscurity or indirectness. Some common synonyms of ambiguities are cryptic, dark, enigmatic, equivocal, obscure, and vague. What is moral ambiguity? A lack of certainty about whether something is right or wrong. Why is ambiguity important? Encourage interpretation. Lexical ambiguity is the potential for multiple interpretation or spoken or written language. Semantic ambiguity is the presence of two or more possible meanings for a single word. Lexical verb convey the semantic or lexical meaning in a sentence. The great majority of verbs in English are lexical verbs, those that are not auxiliary or helping verbs, all the above. Two types of lexical ambiguity are traditionally distinguished, polysemy and homonymy. What is the example of lexical semantics? Animate nouns like animals or people. How do you know if a word is lexical? If the new word and the original word belonging to the same category. How do you identify ambiguity in a sentence? An ambiguous sentence has two or more possible meanings. Lexical ambiguity can be resolved by lexical category disambiguation. Structural or syntactic ambiguity is the potential of multiple interpretation, the way words or phrases are organized. Also, the answer হবে both A and B. Nicole saw the people with binoculars. It is an example of structural ambiguity. I cannot tell you how much I enjoyed meeting your husband. It is an instance of ambiguity. What are structural word example? Auxiliaries, preposition and conjunction are all example of structural words. What is the example of ambiguity in real life? The fisherman went to the bank. What are semantic example? Destination and last stop. Polysemy is characterized as the phenomenon whereby a single word form associate with two or several related senses. Polysemy is called when a symbol, word or phrase means many different things. পরের প্রশ্ন, what are the types of polysemy? 4 types. Disambiguation, also called word sense disambiguation or text disambiguation, is the act of interpreting an author intended use of a word that has multiple meaning or spelling. পরের প্রশ্ন, disambiguation refers to the removal of ambiguity by making something clear. পরের প্রশ্ন, give the meaning of the word disambiguation. Dis কথা অর্থ this meanings not, ambiguous meanings unclear, and the ending ation makes it a noun. What is the opposite of being ambiguous? Clear, precise, unambiguous, all the above. The term of punctuation refers to the system that allows a writer to let the audience know the sentence end. Punctuation, according to the Oxford Learner's Dictionary, is defined as the mark used in writing that defines sentences and phrases. The system of using these marks. Punctuation such as full stop, apostrophe, comma, all the above. The semicolon is the best of English grammar punctuation. Punctuation fills our writing with silent intonation. Why does highly ambiguous means not clear and therefore capable of being understood in more than one way? What is an example of ambiguous? Jack saw her duck. Milton, those shouldn't be living at the hour. It is an example of apostrophe. Complex sentence is a sentence that consists of one principal clause and more than one subordinate clause. Give an example of complex sentence. We can have a baby whenever we want. A sentence that contains two or more than coordinating clauses, it is called compound sentence. Unlock him at 7 in the morning and let him come to the bullpen. It is an example of compound sentence. What is rhetorical interrogation? Rhetorical question. Answer of it is the asking of question not for the sake of getting an answer but to put a point more effectively. Am I my brother keeper? It is an example of rhetorical interrogation. What is strong collocation? Strong collocation are where the link between two or more words is quite fixed and restrict. Weak collocation are where a word can collocate with many other words. Other answer have both A and B. Give some example of strong collocation. Economically, financially, mentally, physically, spiritually. Give an example of ambiguity in the use of language. Answer have we saw her duck. I cannot tell you how much I enjoyed meeting your husband. Answer have both A and B.